Hey, Øyvind, nice to see you. How are you?
Good. Thank you. You?
I love the decor in your room. I got to give you that.
Yeah, it's actually my home office.
It's a beautiful office. I got to take some cues here for the decorations because I'm way behind on that one.
And now the Wahoos is resting on the wall because now I'm only on the Orca at the moment.
I like the steel bearing analogy of the Wahoos and what did you say? It's flying in the, what was it for the Orca?
Well,
what do you call it?
I said that the Wahoos is like you're on steel bearings on rails. I think it was Chris that first said something like this.
Okay.
And the Orca, it's like you're riding on an air cushion.
All right.
It's completely different feeling. Much softer in a way, but really nice.
We're cool. Well, one is specifically for riding, and the other one is more like it started as a replacement of the 760s and more playful in the waves and stuff, and now all of a sudden turning into like this crazy platform, and Guido is going crazy with it in Hawaii, downwinding, and we can't stop being in the waves, and you seem to have found a whole different application for it too. So that's pretty awesome.
I remember I first saw a picture of it, and I asked, "Oh, what is this new wing? Is this?" And you said something. That's for downwind racing.
Probably that was how it started.
And then later, I could hear some Chris was saying, "Oh, it's good for winging also."
Right.
And yeah, I've had it now for a little bit more than a week. And I think as a background, I got the Julitta 85 liter some months ago, and I think that was stage one.
That was the beginning of the long slope.
Yes, because I live in a place where I can drive 10 minutes and reach the ocean, but there's no one else there. Or I can drive 1 hour and 20 minutes to a windsurf spot where you have wind directly on the, like 2 meters from land. But my local spot, it's like it can be very light near the shore, and there's some islands and can be a bit tricky getting out. But once I got the Julitta, I'm only using my local spot, because it's like you have a lot more range when you have the longer board.
Right.
And I've been using the Julitta with the Hooky 999 for some time, and really enjoying when there's some bumps in the fjord. And I've sort of got this rule now that if there's wind from the north, we get bumps. Then I take the Julitta. If it's wind from the south, we don't have good bumps. Then I take the R-board and the Wahoos.
That's a nice setup you have. I'll give you that. The Julitta is crazy because it's such a nice shape, and you've got kind of like, I like the Emona, so I ride the Emona quite a bit because I can do everything with it. There's nothing that I can't do. It's not a downwind board, it's not a race board, it's not a freestyle board, but I can do all of these things with it anyway. Yeah. And then then I ride the R board when I want to go fast and I want to train and I want to push limits, and that always is with the Waho. The Emona is always, most of the time, with Hoki, sometimes with Waho. And then the Julitta came around, and I spent last year in the R&D with it, and all of us rode it a lot, and it was a ton of fun. And unfortunately, it's one of these things. The cobbler's kids always go with broken shoes, and so I'm still on the prototypes from last year. I can't even get one of these boards. But our local beach it's all Julitas at this point. Just a combination of having kind of the shape of the race board and the super light boards. I mean, the 85 kilograms is 5.1, 5.2 kilos.
Yeah.
It's just super, super nice. It's super easy to take off. It's incredible to pump, super light. I use it as a surfboard basically with the Orca now in the waves. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
So I've been using that for some time now with the 999, which has been really fun when there is some bumps. And I'm not like a top athlete. I'm 43 years old, 90 kilos, average wingfoiler, just with a lot of gear. And yeah,
I wouldn't quite. I couldn't. I like the modesty. Very nice, but
with a lot of gear. And but sure, I can go quite fast. I can tack really well, but I haven't spent that much time riding bumps and riding with the wing flagged out. But this I've really started to enjoy with when I got the Julitta, and I've been using the 999, and then I got the Orca 685.
Right.
And now I'm completely hooked, because you have everything you have in the 999 with the low end and those things, but you have just a lot more speed and more glide, and it turns better.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, it's a crazy profile, the one that Chris picked. It's just insane. And then I think the much higher aspect helps a lot. But the thing that blew my mind is the 999 to 685, you've got a significant difference. And one, that 685 glides like crazy for so long, but two, you have almost the same low end power as the 999.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like you can't, like you go on the beach and you look at it and it looks like a sushi knife, like Japanese chef. And then people are scared. Then I got on the 530 Orca, and it's equally mind-bending because that thing literally is a sushi chef. It's like a teeny little thing, but it does the same thing. I go 28, 29 knots with it, and then there we go. Look at that. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
beautiful thing. Which tail do you use with it?
I've used the 170 XS extra small. Okay. I have the 150 in small also, right. But and I was thinking the last time I was out, I can try that, and then I was like, but it's working so good. Yeah, I'll try it a different day.
I do kind of the same thing. I gotta like push myself to make changes, because when something works, it's the least resistance, and you enjoy it so much, just don't want to change things.
Yes.
But I was very reluctant to move from the medium tails to the small tails.
Yeah.
Then I was equally reluctant to move from the small tails to the extra small tails. And then I was just as reluctant to move from 170 to 150, from 150 to 130 now. But they all have different things. And I talked to JP for a while about it recently, and I found, for me at least, kind of a medium winds are a small tail, and then strong winds and wave play is extra small tail. It just it carves. I mean, I can tack that thing on a dime. It's crazy. It's completely crazy. It's like you just keep pushing it and pushing it to see where the limit is, and I can't find it yet.
No, and I think also when you say tacking, the Orca, I think it might be the wing I have that is the easiest to tack.
It is the easiest.
Yeah, because it glides so well. So you can choose if you want to like take forever and take a long tack if you have some speed. But you can also turn it really quickly. So if you suddenly need to throw it around, it delivers.
Right.
And like, well, my local spot, which I've become really, really happy about now, is there is some islands you have to go out around. And yeah, I've been out with 3-0, 4-0, and 5-0 in the, of course, with the 3-0, it's quite windy. And there are some narrow passages where waves is coming in and you're going upwind. And most in those conditions, it's easy to like chicken out and do a jibe, even if you're going upwind. But with the Orca, most of the time I take the tack, because
awesome.
Because you can go so slow and do such a quick little turn.
Right. I mean, Chris is, I'm like you. I like racing, so I spend most of my time on wahoos and armboard and high speed, or Emona and hockey or wahoos and kind of push that. And then Chris is on the 65-liter Julitta, and he's very much into the whole wave and playing in the waves, and what we have found is the same turning ability of the Orca also works extremely well in waves, because you can get in a wave and just do a whole series of turns, and then because of its slow end, you can still slack the wing and just pump back upwind to the next wave, grab the next wave, and come down. Which it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
pretty crazy. And then Stefan from Streezy, he published a video this morning of him actually pumping the Orca with a pump scoop.
Yeah.
Streezy, but like they're really cool pump scoop.
Yes.
I haven't tried that yet, but now that I've seen it, I'm gonna go try it.
I've realized that the dog starting is not within my reach.
Well, we gotta keep trying though.
Yeah, we'll see. No, but actually, there is just too many good windy days here.
Right. Well, you live in a great location. Plus, you do it year round. Like sometimes I assume there's islands and sometimes there's icebergs, because you're relentless. I've never seen anything like it.
I try to do at least one session a week through the winter in Norway, or sometimes I'm living in Sweden, but Norway or Sweden.
Yeah, I love the pictures this winter with iced up boards and iced up grass on the beach and all that stuff.
I think for me, if I didn't wing through the winter, I would have been like a beginner again when spring arrived.
Yeah, Al describes it as what was it? Yeah, because we went down to Mexico for testing, and Al was saying that all of us like start getting stir crazy late January, early February, because there's no wind here. So and we start crawling out of our skin. So that was kind of a nice fix in the middle of the winter. We just went down for a while and tested in Mexico, and that was awesome. But Mexico is a lot warmer than Norway. I'll give you that.
No, I think since I started foiling in 2017, I think the longest period without being on the water was maybe 3 weeks.
You're making me jealous right now. That's awesome. Super cool. Have you tried Orca with the R board yet, and a long mast, or you're just using it with a knife? Life.
Just with the Julitta, and at the same time as I got the Orca. So I have the 95 team edition mast with the Orca, and I really like how with the long mast, and I think what is really good also with the Orca and this combination is how fast it goes upwind.
Right.
Because it's impossible here to do some like jump in a car and drive upwind, because it's all islands and it's just not doable. So what I like to do is just hook in, do 20 minutes upwind, and then I'm like way up the fjord. It goes so fast upwind, and it requires so little effort to go fast upwind, which is really valuable for a downwind wing, because you fly upwind and then you can enjoy going downwind again, and then you just turn around and fly upwind again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we have the other day we were clocking it at 24 knots upwind, which is absolutely insane. And you can go, especially with the new wings, you can go using the Orca, you can go almost perpendicular. It's crazy. You can go straight upwind. So it opens a lot of opportunities. I think, we look at the market and we look at para winging and all of that, and there's probably a few places that it's awesome and very applicable, but just as you say, logistically it's a pain. It's not like I can have people come pick me up with a car 20 miles down the street every day multiple times. And then I think with a para wing, we look at some of the locations, and it's just it also brings a lot of risk. If anything happens, you can't pump, you can't do anything. So that we get the feedback about being able to go upwind with the Orca as much as it does, and as effortlessly as it does, a lot, because it opens up that discipline to a lot more people than one would assume, which is super.
The other day I went downwind to a popular windsurf spot. I went downwind, and then I went upwind again back to my small little spot. Took me 20 minutes to go upwind. The drive with the car would be 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Oh wow!
Because there is no bridges. You have to go all the way along an island and come up back again. And so for me, I really enjoy hammering upwind. And then enjoying the swell back. We have now like a period of what seems will be 2 weeks of strong northern winds and sunshine.
Nice.
Like 2 days ago, I think even today it was like 20 degrees Celsius, which is really hot for being Norway. And tomorrow it will be. Tomorrow and the day after it will be 30 knots plus.
Wow.
So I'm not changing a thing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I just want to make.
Might change some things soon, because we're going to be getting some Maya 3s of your way shortly. So then.
Oh yeah, of course. If I had new Maya wings, I would.
those are so you're gonna be changing stuff soon, but
yes. As soon as there is wind from the south, I will swap over to our board and do some fast runs.
Super cool.
I have the 106 centimeter race mast also for the R board, so I don't want it to be too much of a difference.
Right, and you have all the different R boards. I see the previous version is behind you too. It's a decoration.
That's the first version, and it's handmade in Bulgaria, so there's a lot of love in it. So I'm not using it anymore because I have the new ones, but I don't want to sell it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and thanks for writing F4. And as always, super nice seeing you.
Same to you, Memo.
Thank you.
Thank you.